Anatidaphobia. A fear that a duck is always watching you.
I think we're good.
Bro, I'm not going to lie to you right now. There's a duck right behind you.
No.
It's on top of the tape machine right behind you. I'm serious. Look.
Oh, God. Goddamn mallard.
That's my piggy bank mallard. Show it some respect.
It's always a good hang.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that was all the $100 bills I have in my pocket. I'm just kidding. What's up, man?
Back to good hang, baby.
Back
How
to
you
good.
doing, brother?
I'm doing good, man. I just had my true brain. I am freaking buzzing.
Yeah.
I put some yerba mate in my tea. I am buzzing.
You got yerba mate?
Yeah, dude.
Oh, shit.
My heart's going to stop in the middle of this episode.
God, it was an honor to go out like this, soldier. How you doing?
My mug matches my sweater, too.
Read it out for us.
My aunt got me this mug for Christmas. It says...
People are going to think we're...
Cracked out.
Coked out.
It says, I love the Buffalo Bills and the word fuck.
Hell yeah.
Yep. How you doing? We're filming this at a time pre-Super Bowl.
Yeah. Josh Allen better win MVP, man. I'm not even a Bills fan, but
You better watch your mouth.
that dude is fucking on one, bro.
Yeah. Hopefully by the time some people are enjoying this episode, we are basking in a Buffalo Super Bowl victory. Yeah. But I won't jinx it. Knock on everything I am. All right. Speaking of crackheads, let's get into it.
What are we talking about?
Today we're talking about bizarre phobias.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a difference between fear and phobia.
Yeah.
So
Although my anxiety would beg the difference.
I'm going to... let's break down what fear is for a second.
Yeah,
Let's
go
get
for
into
it.
the science of it real quick.
Yep.
So when we feel fear, and this is something Chat GBT cooked up for me, good looking out. In short, the amygdala, whatever that fear center in your brain, detects and processes the threat. Shit made me think of, like, if you've seen Free Solo, Alex Honnold.
Yeah.
They did studies on his amygdala. It's like smaller than the average, or it's like doesn't even work or whatever. That's why this dude is so fearless. It's just mad interesting. And then the hypothalamus triggers a physical response. That's that fight or flight response.
Mm-hmm.
And the cortex interprets the threat rationally. So, okay, this is something I should be afraid of,
Right.
or irrationally in the case of what we're talking about today, phobias.
Interesting. I
Yeah.
didn't know
So, and then the hippocampus stores and recalls past experiences that may influence, your current fear. Okay, fucking, I've had this experience before. Fucking bear. I know this is something I should be afraid of. And the brainstem and autonomic, I think I said that right, nervous system execute the physical changes, which is that increased heart rate, the muscle tension. You're fired up. You could be tired, but now the adrenaline's kicked in. You need to react. Your body needs to make moves. So
Interesting.
yeah, so this entire process helps you respond quickly to danger, whether it's fighting, fleeing, or freezing, and ensures your body is primed to handle threats, even if those threats turn out to be non-existent or exaggerated.
Yeah. This is all really interesting. And I was actually going to mention that they should always add freeze to fight or flight. You know what I mean? We always talk about the fight or flight response, but the
Right.
third one is freeze.
Yeah.
Me when I get spotted.
Right. Right. Or a snake or something.
Yeah. It's pretty interesting, man. And on the other side of that coin, here's kind of the breakdown of a phobia.
Okay.
Right. So specific phobias are an extreme fear of objects or situations that pose little or no danger, but make you highly anxious. So again, going back to your brain's response. So you try to stay away from these things, right? Unlike the brief anxiety you may feel when giving a speech or taking a test, specific phobias are long-lasting. Without treatment, specific phobias tend to last a lifetime. Phobias can cause strong physical, mental, and emotional responses. They can also affect how you act at work, school, or in social situations. Buttery, flaky crust. Specific phobias are common anxiety disorders. Overall, they happen more often in females. This I didn't know. And shit.
That was a great reference.
Thanks, dude. Not all phobias need to be treated, but if a specific phobia affects your daily life, several types of therapies are available to help you work through and conquer your phobias, often forever. And this is from mayoclinic.org. So
It's legit.
Okay.
but I just, this difference between a fear and a phobia, like I was literally talking to someone last night after we were, kind of prepping for this episode, and they said, "Oh, I'm afraid of this thing." And in my head, after looking at it, I'm like, "That's actually just a phobia." I mean, I didn't say that because it would make me sound like a condescending prick, but
Right.
it's interesting, the way I wonder if just knowing this stuff changes the way you either react or look at it. You know what I mean?
Probably. I think when you dive into the science of like what's going on in my body and in my brain, you'd realize like, a lot of these fears are totally irrational. I remember freaking out when I saw, spiders when I was a kid, and my dad was like, that thing, I mean, certainly some spiders can hurt you, but a lot of the spiders that I'm growing up around cannot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And my dad's like, that thing, you are 1,000 times bigger than it.
Yeah.
It cannot hurt you, dude.
Mhm.
And he ate it in front of me. He picked it up and he's like, ah, and he fucking eats it. I'm like, you're a psycho, Dad. But
Dad needs some help, brother.
He was trying to make a point about like this thing. Why are you so fucking afraid of this thing? And I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, it's fucking scary looking.
Dude,
But,
this last summer, I saw a black widow for the first time.
are you
ever.
shitting me?
It was crazy. It was kind of like right near the sensor of a garage door. And I saw, it was like from me to you, I saw the little red spot. I'm like, is that a fucking black widow, man?
Oh my God.
Yeah, I see those a lot, man.
No.
It was wild.
What the fuck?
It was wild. I have a note here that's pretty interesting that I found on phobia or trauma being passed through DNA.
This is super interesting.
Yeah, because it cited trauma as a big source for a lot of phobias. And it says, while trauma itself isn't directly encoded in genes, research suggests that the effects of trauma can be passed down through generations via epigenetic mechanisms, meaning that traumatic experiences can alter how genes are expressed, potentially impacting the mental and physical health of offspring, effectively passing down the effects of trauma, even if the genetic code itself isn't changed. So this is often referred to as intergenerational trauma.
That's crazy.
I find that
interesting.
wild.
Yeah. I mean, that doesn't mean the specific trauma, right? But like the kind of trauma.
Yeah. To be honest with you, it's like a little over my head,
right.
this idea, but so yeah, take it with a grain of salt.
Right.
I'm pretty much just delegitimizing my entire claim right now.
I'm glad we're discussing this a little bit because I think it is good to know the difference, that there's a major difference between a phobia and fear, which is, you're supposed to feel fear. It can save your life,
Right.
if you have that response. And I think did I show you the video of the fucking, what was it, the Murray show or whatever? The girl that's terrified of olives.
Oh, yes.
So I guess she had a traumatic experience when she was young, and a lot of people have probably seen this video. It's legendary.
Yeah.
But she looked at her grandfather's, it was a funeral or wake, and his eyes looked like olives or whatever. So she's like horrified of olives. Like, can't go down the grocery store aisle.
Oh no.
And he's like, he's bringing on these people with crazy phobias, and he's like, bring out the olives. And she's screaming bloody murder, sprinting into the back in hysterics.
Oh
and
my
it's a fucking olive.
Yeah.
It's just so wild, dude.
That's so crazy, man. I mean, I bet you she's never had a martini in her life.
No, absolutely not.
Pretty wild to think about.
Make it extra dirty.
No! Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, man. What are some phobias that you have?
That I personally have?
Yeah.
I got a few, I think. Yeah. I mean, some of these, like, I guess are irrational, but like they seem rational to me.
Right. Well, that's the whole thing.
Right.
Objectively, they are irrational.
Right. Spiders, arachnophobia, and I know we share that one.
Yeah. I would rather a fucking fight a live bear get into it with a spider, man.
I think we share a few here. I'm a little claustrophobic, definitely. And this stems from, I think, a traumatic experience that I had when I was young. I was playing with my buddies or something, or I forget what exactly the situation was, but I got trapped under a blanket. And then like I had a bunch of people jump on top of me. And I like can't breathe. And it was like, I felt like trapped and like, oh dude, it was like, I'm like fighting for my life to get out of it.
Dude, you want to hear just a quick aside on claustrophobia?
Absolutely.
Have you heard of splunking?
Maybe no.
So it's these people, where these people are adrenaline junkies, right? And they go out into places where there's these really small caves that, if you can picture it, the cave is just about big enough for you to like basically be a pencil and fit through it.
That's my
And for
worst
fun,
nightmare.
these people will crawl into these caves. And there is this story about a guy who crawled into this cave.
I've seen this.
Yeah, and he got stuck.
Yeah, and he died, right?
And he thought that if he kept going, he would maybe find a spot that he could turn around
Oh, God.
and get out, right? So he gets stuck at this crest, and the next part of the tunnel goes downward, and so he goes down that part, and then it evens out, and then there's basically a 90-degree drop, and he's like, oh, that probably drops into something, I can maybe turn around. So he goes head first into it. Turns out it's just a 6-foot hole.
Oh my God.
So he's stuck upside down in this hole, and I think it was something like 28 hours or something he was stuck. I could be wrong on that number, but they tried multiple ways to get the suit out, and he ended up dying in the cave.
That's like the worst way to go, maybe.
Yeah. So, and they sealed over the cave. They're like, yeah, no one's ever going in there again.
Dude, no.
It's crazy, but yeah, I have a lot of dreams about things like that,
Me too.
like claustrophobic tunnel dreams.
Yeah, I have those.
This goes back to our worst jobs, man. Like the
Yeah.
tunnel rats in
Right.
Vietnam. Like,
yeah,
ugh,
I have those
no
dreams
thanks.
too, man.
Oh,
It sucks.
Well, anyway, what are some more?
I think we share this one as well. Thalassophobia? Thalassophobia? Open ocean, open
Yeah.
water, deep, dark, open water. Yeah. No thanks. No.
Yeah. That's why, like, the thought of going on a cruise kind of freaks me out.
I've been on a cruise.
Really? It didn't freak you out?
I mean, you're not jumping ship.
Yeah,
It's
but
not-
like, are you ever thinking about the ship going down?
Nah. I think there's so many practices in place now that it's not like Titanic times.
Shit,
But I think the problem with the cruise is more the claustrophobia thing. You get it.
Okay, yeah.
Um,
You're kind of trapped.
Yeah, and that leads into kind of one of my last one that I had on here was oculophobia. And I'm going to read the definition. This term specifically refers to the fear of large, potentially unruly crowds or mobs.
I loathe the vulgar horde.
Yeah. Often associated with a sense of danger or being overwhelmed. I'm not a fan of unruly crowds, man.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm afraid of them, but I saw that one and I was like, that's like kind of up my alley.
You'll kind of avoid them at all costs.
Yeah, just like unruly like crowds, like,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, I know what you mean. Man, you would not have lasted 1 second at Woodstock 99.
probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Dude,
Did I tell you about my experience at Coachella one time?
I don't think so.
It's like my first time tripping shrooms, and I go into Future was performing, and I'm like in the crowd, and this dude, I'm like it's starting to hit me, and I'm like, whoa, I'm tripping, and this dude turns to me, and he's like, do you want to mosh, bro? And I'm like, nah, and he kept asking me. I'm like
if
trying
you
to watch.
wanted to mosh?
Yeah, and I'm like, dude, no. And then he starts like just this one short, like just starts moshing against me, and no one else is moshing.
Oh my god.
I'm like, dude, what the fuck? I had to leave. I had to bail out. I got claustrophobic. It was a nightmare.
Hey, if that guy's listening to this podcast, why don't you send us $500 in the donation
Yeah,
field?
for real.
Yeah, reparations for GILL.
But
That's crazy, man.
That was two of the phobias in one, kind of an unruly
Yeah.
crowd. Like I'm not. Yeah, no thanks. Can't
Yeah.
go to a Travis Scott show.
Oh my gosh, dude! I had this was particularly a phobia of mine when I was younger, but agoraphobia, and it's essentially a fear about being in places or situations where you might feel trapped or like unable to escape, and it's kind of I've always experienced it, and particularly involved with like larger spaces, right? So for example, in preschool, I was afraid to go into the gym because it was, I was but a small lad. So
That's wild.
it seemed huge to me, and I was so afraid to look up and just see how tall the ceilings were and all this, because I had this irrational fear that it was going to flip and I would like fall, right?
No.
The room would just go, whew, and I would be up here and I'm falling. Yeah, dude, it was
That's
weird.
wild.
Yeah, and I had a really tough time with like really large spaces, and they just kind of freaked me out. I'm better about it now, but
Interesting.
and this is a new one.
That makes me think of the nightmare that you had in an earlier episode when you did our top 3 episode when you were like, I can't get to where I'm going.
Oh my
Like
gosh.
it sounded like kind of those are connected in a way.
They like agoraphobia, claustrophobia. Like it's all this feeling of being restricted, of leaving or moving.
Yeah, yeah.
I hate that. And this last one, man, this is a new one that I unlocked, and I only learned about this one because a long time ago, I was talking to a girl on Hinge, and she mentioned this one.
Okay.
And it's called trypophobia, and it's a fear of things with holes, like a bunch of different holes, right? So this isn't something that I'm particularly afraid of, but picture like a honeycomb and a beehive, right? Something like that. This is like a new phobia that I kind of unlocked recently. It just freaks me out because I looked up a picture, and there was a picture of a dude's hand and he had all these holes in his palm. It was some disease or something he had. And I don't know, man. It's really bizarre, but it's just like, it freaks me out. I just don't want to look at it. And
I mean, that's the name of the game. This episode is like, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense to me.
I'll tell you what really doesn't make sense. This is my honorable mention, and I don't even know if there is. Oh my God, I just got chills down my spine. I don't even know if there's a name for this phobia, but do you remember the ice cream that you would get from the ice cream truck when you were younger? I'm just like thinking about it. You know, it would come with those wooden spoons that were about this big.
Yeah.
And they were always so, oh my God, dude, I'm literally getting the hair on my body standing up right now.
You need to take a moment.
The little wooden spoons were like so dry. The wood was so dry. You could like feel it on your teeth.
Oh, yeah, dude. Fuck that.
Dude, absolutely not. Dry wood like against my teeth or like against my
Oh yeah, on the tongue,
or like
bro.
dry wood rubbing together.
Oh, okay. Settle down.
You should, Jesus Christ, you should see my skin right now. It's the holes. Yeah, dude. I mean, I just goosebumps about that. That actually, just talking about it, because I honestly just thought of that right now. Like, that might be my top phobia.
Dude,
it's like the wood spoons that you get with ice cream.
The more I dive into it, I used to get the SpongeBob one, and as
Fire.
soon as I got down to the texture of the wood is like in my.
That's what I'm saying. It's too dry.
Yeah.
It's too dry.
Yeah.
I hate it. Yeah, absolutely not. No, thank you, dude.
www.fuckit.com.
How you doing?
All right, let's talk about we talked about ours. Let's talk about some of the most common.
Yeah,
maybe
I'm into that,
common.
man.
I'm gonna rattle through here.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this one at the top of our.
This one's mad common.
Yeah, and it's arachnophobia.
Yeah,
this is.
I don't know a person that loves them.
I do. My tattoo artist in Rochester, shout out Corey Smith Tattooer on all socials. He's the best. He had a couple pet tarantulas at one point.
No.
Hey, Corey, sorry, I accidentally burned down your house.
What's the dude's name from She's the Man that's got the fucking tarantula?
I don't know. Satan? Dude, absolutely not. I big hairy.
Malcolm? Might have been a tarantula's name. Anyway, this one's another common one. An intense fear of snakes or, what does that say?
Ophidiophobia.
Ophidiophobia.
You know, snakes don't really bother me that much.
Yeah, they don't bother me.
Yeah.
Depends on the snake, I guess. Did you see the fucking cartoon when you were a kid? The Ricky Tikki Tavi
maybe
cartoon. You know the mongoose?
Yeah.
He like saves the family from the two cobras.
Oh, yeah.
Man, those two cobras were fucking scary, man.
Dude, I have a great snake story that actually happened pretty recently. My friends and I met up in Nashville, and it wasn't, I can't remember what river it was, but it was a nice hot day and we were going to go tubing on the river. And real quick, do we need to
No, we're good.
pause? Oh, sorry. Okay. I saw you look at it and I was like, fuck. So yeah, I meet up with some friends in Nashville and we're going to go tubing down this river and everything is going great. You know, the sun's out. It's a beautiful day. And we get in the tubes and we're floating down the river and it's really slow. Right.
Yeah.
And so, but at certain points on the river, you know, you hit a little bit of rapids and a little bit of faster water.
Yeah.
And one of my friends is like, yeah, you know, you don't really see snakes in water that's moving too much. And I was like, okay, we're chilling. And like, to be honest with you, up until the point of them saying that during the ride, I mean, I hadn't even thought of snakes. But all of a sudden, we're sitting there, just floating, minding our own business. And my friend Grace, she just goes, hey, everybody, a snake.
Oh, no.
And she said it just like that because I think she didn't really want to alarm all of us.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, there's this snake and it literally looks like this. and it's got its head above the water, and I see it, and it's kind of coming through the middle of our cluster of tubes.
Oh, fuck.
And all at once, everybody jumps out of their tubes and starts going towards this little shore with this rocky shore that was right near us. And I was the furthest from the shore, right? And so it's coming, and I go to jump out, and this snake is right in front of me, man.
Jesus, man.
It's right in front of me. And I was like, pull me in, pull me in. And no one's pulling me in. Everyone is just concerned about themselves. And so at one point, dude, I said a Hail Mary, and I lurched out of that tube so fast. I think I just smacked the water really hard. And I was like, you know, when you're in, talk about fight or flight response, man. Because I was worried that this snake was going to turn right around and just bite my shit. And it turns out it was a fucking water moccasin. Like, I'm pretty sure that's a pretty poisonous snake.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, dude. I'm not even. If there's poisonous snakes in the water, I don't even know if I'm tubing.
Yeah. Because Grace was like, dude, that was a moccasin. And then my friend gets on me. She's like, why didn't you grab my shoe on the way in? Her croc was floating down the river. I was like,
I don't care about your fucking croc.
I'm not risking my life for the croc.
if she's watching this, I stand by my decision to not grab the croc.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a couple snake experiences. There's a garden snake here and there, but like, there's some snakes out there that'll fucking send a shiver up my spine, man.
Yeah, that's what
Some
I'm saying.
scary ones out there, bro. Goddamn. What are those big ones?
Anacondas.
Whoa.
Yeah,
You don't want to get wrapped up in one of those.
Okay, you want to give us the next one?
Sure. Acrophobia, an intense fear of heights. This is probably one of the most common. What's interesting to me is that this one is labeled a phobia, because there is something about heights that is a danger to you, right? Like the fear of falling. So maybe it's a phobia of heights, but a fear of falling.
I think it's the extremity of it. And I have a quick story about this. Okay. When I worked at the old bar in Syracuse that you've been to, we hired a barback. He was an acrophobic. He had a fear of heights, but there was a ladder that you had to go up to get stuff up. It was like a crawl space upstairs where there was liquor and everything. And when I say it was a ladder, it was this tall. It was not tall. Well, not even as tall as you to go up into this little. It was a joke, and he was this big strapping dude. And I'm like, yeah, you just got to go up those ladder and grab the cups right there. And he's like, I can't go up this ladder. I'm like, why? He's like, I'm afraid of heights. We're talking 6 feet up, dude. If you fall, you're okay.
This guy would have a panic attack if he jumped.
Dude, I'm sitting there like, you can't work here. I'm like, that is pathetic.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
man.
so that was his first and last shift. But
That was his first shift?
yeah.
Oh,
he's like,
poor
I
guy.
can't go up the ladder to get the stuff. Well, that's your job.
Oh
so.
my gosh.
I mean, that was one of the most crippling examples of that I've ever seen. Like, you can't go up 5 feet. That's insane.
That's wild, man.
It's one thing to stand on top of a,
That's like a life
effect
suppressing phobia. I mean, that you probably need to see someone about.
100%.
Yeah. That's insane. Which, I mean, it's kind of related to our next one.
Yeah, an intense fear of flying, aerophobia. Dude, I had a little of this when I was young. I think I mentioned this story on a previous episode. I went to the Virgin Islands, and I was terrified to fly back. We had a lot of turbulence. I've gotten over this since. I fly all the time, but I kind of get it. It's a tube of flesh hurtling through the sky. I mean, you have no control kind of if it goes down.
Yeah, I'll show you a tube of flesh.
Dude, what's crazy is sometimes when a plane hits turbulence, I'm like, finally, I feel something. Yeah, absolutely insane. This next one is interesting because, it's totally circumstantial, like whether you grew up with them or not. But xenophobia, which is an intense fear of dogs. Crazy.
Yeah, this would probably stem from a bad experience.
Yeah,
with a dog.
It's a pretty simple one, but I guess it's common.
Yeah, can't relate. Astrophobia, an intense fear of thunder and lightning. Growing up, a friend of mine's mom had this phobia to an extreme level. If there was a thunderstorm, she would be in like the fetal position in like
Are you
in
serious?
the basement.
Oh,
Yeah,
that sucks, man.
just scared. Yeah, did not like it.
Wow. My sister and I used to sit in the garage and drink milkshakes during thunderstorms. I don't know why I said it like that. I was like, milkshakes.
I love thunderstorms, man. I
Me
love
too.
lightning. Like I
Yeah.
love watching it.
They're cathartic, man.
Yeah, they're so
I
cool.
love them. Trypanophobia, which is an intense fear of injections. I get this. I mean, getting a shot, or God forbid you have to get like a spinal tap or something. I mean,
It's funny. Some of these I enjoy. Like when I'm getting a shot, I'll watch the needle go in.
really?
Yeah.
I mean, it is fascinating that at this point in history where they figured out how to do that shit safely.
Right.
I mean, that's wild. Do you think that this one overlaps at all with getting tattooed?
Yeah, I do.
Like a little, maybe a little bit.
Yeah, I mean it's the needle is touching just going against the skin, right? In
It's
tattoos.
just penetrating like the first couple layers of skin.
Yeah, sure.
Wow.
And you like that,
Yeah. I'm a
or do you
big
like the
fan.
process? I know you have.
I do.
tattoos.
There's a weird thing. You kind of start to enjoy it. There's this very weird pleasure that you get from the pain of getting tattooed. Sometimes it fucking sucks, man.
Right,
this spot on my arm.
That's a thick one.
Yeah, we called that the devil's ass crack when I was getting that spot. Yeah, that part hurt. Your elbow really, really hurts, surprisingly. And I think my most painful tattoo was a tie between my finger and the one I have on my chest.
I feel like the chest is sensitive. The fingers too. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just like it felt like my bones were getting tattooed on my finger. It sucked, man. I was like, anyway.
A social phobia is this? That's just I don't know if there's a particular term. An intense fear of social interactions.
Yeah. I get that.
Fair enough. And then agoraphobia is an intense fear of places that are difficult to escape, sometimes involving a fear of crowded or open spaces. You mentioned this one. Misophobia, an intense fear of germs, dirt, and other contaminants. That might have sparked up during the vid. And then claustrophobia, which is a lot of people deal with that one.
Yeah, that's the worst one in my opinion.
Yeah.
Piggybacking off of the most common phobias, I read something that said the most common type of phobias are social phobias, right? And not every one that they had in this list was necessarily, it didn't have the suffix of phobia, but glossophobia, which is the fear of public speaking, very valid.
Yeah.
Stage fright is such I didn't even think about this one when we were making this list, but because it doesn't have the phobia attached to the name. Fear of performing, man. I mean, that is.
Did you ever have this, or did you have to get over it?
I had it a little bit. It's like it's very circumstantial.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel like there's always an anxiety.
Yeah.
And I forget the actor. I'm going to pop it up on the screen, but he never really got over it. He's like a famous theater actor. And he would throw up every time before performing.
Oh my gosh.
But he's just like, I love this shit.
That's horrible. Paruresis. Paruresis? I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, but the fear of using public restrooms. Man, I'll tell you what.
My mom's got that.
Yeah. I have a lot of horrible dreams. I think I talked about this in the top 3 episode that I'm barefoot in public restrooms with an inch of standing water on the ground. Fuck that. At one time, I maybe have a little bit of this. No, I don't think I have a little bit of it, but I was a little traumatized. One time we were at the Madrid airport and we had a 9-hour layover, and I went into that bathroom and it was hands down the worst smelling bathroom I've ever smelled in my life. I can't even describe the smell. It was like, picture seeing a new color for the first time. It was nuts, dude. It was a combination of like whatever air freshener or cleaner they were using and just piss and shit. It was horrible, man. Horrible. But next one is fear of intimacy or sexual encounters. I feel like that's a pretty common one. And then fear of authority figures.
Interesting.
That's fascinating.
Interesting.
Very fascinating. All right.
Very interesting. All right. Let's get into. We're moving along right here, bruh.
Yeah.
Let's get into the fucking weirdest ones. This is what this episode's all about. We're gonna talk about these, and man, some of these are absolutely bizarre.
Yeah.
Just utterly insane.
I don't even
get it.
Yeah, most of these I did not even know existed.
No.
But these are absolutely wild. You want to kick us off?
Yeah, I'm gonna have trouble with some of these. Abacatophobia.
Buttery flaky crust.
Buttery crispy crust. Fear of peanut butter sticking to the roof of the mouth.
Holy crap. That's crazy.
Man,
That's so
I live
bizarre.
on the edge to
I
these people.
I wonder if those people also get freaked out when a dog has peanut butter and they're like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If that really freaks them out. Chorophobia, which is a fear of dancing.
So what?
That's
So let's dance. What are we gonna do? We're gonna dance.
That's insane. Rodney Dangerfield would not approve.
These people, I guess, can't even. They'll get intense anxiety just watching people dance.
I was gonna say I wonder if a lot of these also kind of come to the surface when they're seeing people do this type of stuff, because a lot of
imagine.
these are very action based.
I just don't get this one, man. Like, but most people love dancing.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel a little bit awkward at first
Sure.
when I used to drink, dude. I would cut her up.
Yeah, same.
But I don't know. I have to like really. I have to really just force myself into it, and then I'm having fun.
Life's
But,
about committing to the. You got to commit.
yeah.
You just got to say fuck it.
In the words of an old friend, dude, no one cares about you as much as you think they do.
Exactly.
So if you're like, everyone's gonna watch me while I'm dancing, I'm like, yeah, and they're gonna be like, that guy's got some nice moves.
I've been to a few weddings now, being sober, and I was like, man, can I really just tear it up like I
Yeah.
used to be? And I still do. I still
Still
do
got
out there. I still do it. So,
Yeah, I had a lot of trouble having fun dancing without. This is gonna sound weird, but like without a guitar in my hands, because I'm so used to experiencing music by performing it,
right.
and having that in my hands. So I look like Ricky Bobby. I'm not really sure what to do with my hands.
That's one of
when I don't
that's
have it.
one
It's
of my
weird.
things, man. I don't know what to do with my hands.
Yeah. Just clap. I don't
freaking know.
Yeah, just put them up.
What about globophobia? The fear of
I think we
balloons.
skipped one here, did we? Or is that next on your list?
Oh, no, I did skip one.
Let's talk about linonophobia, the fear of string or thread.
Mm.
Interesting.
How do they feel about sweaters?
Maybe when they're combined, they don't fear it as much. I don't
Mm.
know. Just a single string.
Yeah, there's a lot of these that kind of have to do with fearing things in multitude.
Okay.
Like, for lack of a better way to put it, like a swarm of things, right?
Yeah.
Like trypophobia, the fear of holes, and linonophobia, fear of string or thread. Like, I don't know. That's kind of a common thread.
I think a lot.
Shit.
I think a lot of these have to stem from some traumatic experience when they're younger. But I just don't know, man. But yeah, let's talk about globophobia, the fear of balloons.
Yeah.
This is one of them that I actually dumped some information in, and
Okay.
I'm gonna read it because I was really trying to wrap my head around who the fuck could fear balloons, like why. So the level of fear varies from person to person and can range from avoiding being near balloons to avoiding places with balloons altogether. In some people, the fear is so great that even seeing a balloon on television triggers intense anxiety. This rare fear can be especially hard for young children, as balloons are often present at kids' birthday parties. It's usually brought on by a traumatic experience, like a lot of these are, with a balloon as a child, such as popping a balloon and being frightened by the noise. And it can be linked to a fear of clowns or coulrophobia, as the two are often found together. I kind of get the clown thing.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's just fucking weird, man.
Globophobia.
Here at Globo, Jim, we're better than you, and we know it.
Triskaidekaphobia, fear of the number 13. I find this one really interesting because this has found its way into the infrastructure of our society. Like hotels not having a 13th floor. That's crazy.
That's a thing?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, look it up.
Wow.
I was looking it up right now. But yeah, there's a lot of hotels that don't have a 13th floor. It's a very superstitious thing. And so I guess I didn't know that there was a phobia attached to it. But I do find that interesting. I mean, 13 has a lot of
It's a cursed number, right?
yeah,
I mean,
connotations
this
to
is
it.
heavy on the superstition.
Yeah.
For some of these, probably.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna take a crack at this next one. I'm gonna take it slow.
Yeah. Don't hurt yourself. Yeah.
Hippopotamonstrosis equipedaliophobia.
Dialed.
Fear of long words.
Oh, jeez.
Wow, that's insane, dude. That's absolutely
Don't ask
insane.
them what phobia they have.
I know.
They'll shit a brick. I, mean,
I got a phobia. That's crazy.
Like, why? Like, what?
I don't know, man. It's that like
Someone might be watching this like with one of these phobias, and we're like,
Yeah.
what a fucking weirdo.
Yeah, right.
No offense, but yeah, what?
Yeah, this makes me want to look up the longest word in the English dictionary. Hey, cover your ears if you got the phobia. Is pneumonoalgia ultramicroscopic silicovolcanoconiosis,
What's that?
a lung disease caused by inhaling very fine silicate or quartz dust.
Jesus.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah. That's a weird one.
Yeah.
Next up, we got papaphobia, fear of the Pope.
Is Pope shit in the woods?
I mean,
That is so specific.
Yeah.
I don't really understand that one at all. I mean, maybe if you think the Pope is behind, the Illuminati or
some
whatever,
dark
but
shit, or maybe you had a really weird religious experience, and I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, a lot of these are just beg the question of why. But
yeah, I mean, I wonder
just
what it's like to be the Pope. Imagine waking up tomorrow and you're the Pope. What's the first thing you're doing?
I would be so
as the
clueless. I don't know.
I'm gonna go get some gelato. Figure it out. That's
Probably what I'd
wild.
do. Probably go catch a donut. Does bone stick fit through a donut? I don't know.
Exactly.
Holy shit. Hypnophobia, fear of falling asleep.
Damn.
Man, imagine being narcoleptic and also have hypnophobia.
You'd be living in fear. I love falling asleep, man.
Yeah, I mean, I do get it, people who have probably pretty consistent nightmares.
That's something that I
probably
thought
have
of. You have,
this.
like really bad nightmares.
Yeah, or sleep paralysis if you suffer with that.
That shit's actually kind of scary, dude.
Dude, sleep paralysis?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I, knock on wood, have never had it.
You've never even had like a brief instance of
I've had one like really brief moment of it, but nothing. It would. I don't think like nothing. I didn't see anything. I think I was turned over, so I didn't. I don't know, dude. It really freaks me out.
Dude, I had a couple. Can I talk about a couple of things?
Yeah, of course.
One time I had it, and I could see around my room. I don't know if this is what it is,
It sounds like you're just.
but I could see the space that I'm in. I couldn't move my body though, and above me. I'm not making this up either.
Literally, fuck this.
Above me, I see it looked like a bright, like golden, hueish yellow, glowing, like small. It looked like an angel. That's the only way I could describe
Like a
it.
little orb or something.
Yeah, and it was just slowly floating over my head. Like you hear these, the angel was watching over
God.
me. Like that, like changed my like how I think about some things.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then I don't know if I was like, whatever, my mind was playing tricks on me, but I had that happened. And then the other night, like a few nights ago, I was falling like asleep and I was like in between states.
Mm-hmm.
And then I like realized like my conscious mind was awake, but my body was like asleep. And I tried to breathe in and I like couldn't for some reason. And I started freaking out. And then I was like, and then I like came back and I felt my body.
I just held my breath listening to that story.
It was
dude.
fucking frightening, man.
Dude, that is horrible. I have this weird confidence when at night when I'll get up to piss at like 4 a.m, wander out of my room. I have this weird confidence at night that if I just close my eyes, I know exactly where I'm going. Like I can like visualize the house in my mind's eye and just walk through the house. Like
You're saying like when you're taking a piss?
yeah, at night when it's dark and it's hard to open your eyes. I'm like, I'm like standing there pissing into the toilet. I'm like, I can just close my eyes. I know where my piss is going. It's like cuts to a shot. I'm like pissing on the wall.
Dude, I had this idea yesterday. You know how we've been talking about trying to prank Zoe?
Yeah.
Zoe's our roommate. I had a great fucking idea.
Okay.
We should both convince her that she's sleepwalking.
Oh my god.
And like singing, maybe she's like singing a Wicked song. And we're like, dude, you're walking around the house like singing Popular last night. But like we both go up to her in separate times. So she's like, wait. So she starts believing it. It's a great idea.
This is a great prank. And you know what we're going to do? We'll pull up a Pro Tools session and we'll like figure out how to make maybe we could hire like one of our friends to be like a voice actor. And we can I'll like take a phone video one day when she's gone, like right here, as if I'm sitting in my room recording it. And I'll have someone go over by her room and kind of like mumble Defying Gravity. Oh, dude. And I can be like, yeah, I took a video of it.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. Dude, that's good.
We're going to get you, Zoe.
That's pretty
They're absolutely horrible roommates. Oh, man.
All right.
I think My bank account has this next one. It's called plutophobia, fear of wealth. Yeah,
That's yeah.
I remember looking into this one, and it's also a fear of wealthy people, and like just kind of a fear of like the rich in general, or large sums of money. I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with like I'm afraid of that because I, have never had it or never experienced it, or I wouldn't know what to do with it, or
my
something.
life would change, or people would come after me. Yeah, I don't know. I read about it's like you fear acquiring good sums of money, which most people,
that's what I got.
That's very, very not a lot of people I imagine have this one, but that is bizarre.
That's wild.
Anyway, I don't really have much to say on that.
I'm
like,
just
trying to get rich. Kinesiophobia, fear of moving.
I feel that. Holy crap. That's God. Every day I fight this phobia.
Fear of moving, man. Like why? What?
Yeah.
What?
I don't know.
Like moving, like you don't want to move because you think you're gonna get hit by a bus or something? I don't get it.
I don't know. That's me after Thanksgiving. Jesus. How about xanthophobia? Shout out to xanthan gum. No, I'm just kidding. Fear of the color yellow. What?
I don't know.
That's so wild,
It must
man.
be a traumatic thing.
Maybe they slipped on a banana peel at one point.
Right.
Hello. I don't know.
Imagine like you have a friend that's afraid of yellow. She's like, yeah, you can't wear that around Jimmy.
Oh my God.
What?
I have a fucking panic attack and start throwing stars at everybody.
Nomophobia, fear of being without a mobile phone. All right.
I would say
Gen Z's all of them.
I mean, everyone. I think a lot of the older people in my life probably have this too. This is an epidemic, man.
And people are so dependent on it. I mean,
I mean,
there's certain situations that if I didn't have a phone, I'd be like, what the fuck am I going to do?
Yeah. I wonder if this refers to that or if this refers to the withdrawal that you feel when you're, not able to access all the features of your phone. I mean, it's a good time to shout out Brick.
Yeah.
We both use Brick and it blocks the apps of our choosing on our phone. It's great. We're not sponsored by Brick, but maybe someday. I don't friggin' know. Cactophobia, or I'm sorry, that would probably be a fear of cactus. Cacophobia, fear of ugliness.
Fear of ugliness. Oof. Imagine if you're an ugly person, you roll up on this dude with the fear, and they're just making a.
They're like,
that's got to be brutal. It's like, man, I'm just chilling.
You can't be friends with a person that has cacophobia, dude. I mean, like. Because if you see them visibly get uncomfortable around you, you're like, oh, shit, am I ugly?
It's like the SpongeBob episode, and he's got the stank breath.
I'm ugly and I'm proud. I'm ugly and I'm proud. Oh man,
this next one bridges into it kind of well. Elsotropo.
It looks like isoptrophobia.
Oh, that's an I. Okay. Fear of mirrors. So you're afraid of yourself? Unable to look at themselves, afraid of seeing something. This is something that I saw about this. They're afraid of seeing something supernatural in a mirror.
Oh.
It's interesting. Did you ever, when you were a kid, like go into the dark room? Yeah. Shit was spooky, man.
Oh my gosh. Dude, there are so many times still that, we'll be watching a scary movie on the couch and I'm like, pause it, I gotta go to the bathroom. So I go, tick, 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 tick. I run over to the bathroom and I'm like, I can't look in the mirror because I know there's about to be some freak standing behind me. It's crazy.
That's why I don't watch them, man.
Yeah, I don't know. Mirrors are freaky. I was actually talking to someone about this the other day. Like, how the fuck does a mirror work? It's probably pretty simple in science, but like, it's just crazy that they exist.
Because I've seen glass, but that's not the same. It's like glass, right?
Yeah, you know what? Maybe
like a clean mirror is literally a perfect reflection.
Yeah,
it's mine.
But like, how do you get it that clean?
I don't know how it works, man. Maybe we'll watch how to make mirrors.
Ooh, we should watch how it's made. The Plumbus.
I think also the mirror thing factors into the superstition thing.
Oh,
true. The bad
true.
luck, like if you cracked it.
Find me a kid that didn't have some type of say Bloody Mary 3 times in the mirror type of game when they were young, man.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. We got umbraphobia and chionophobia, which is the fear of rain and the fear of snow, which I guess you could maybe link that to the fear of precipitation.
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, man, where do you live? Southern Cal? Like,
I
that's,
guess.
like, weather, thunder, like, I already mentioned, like, the friend of my mom's, but,
Yeah.
like, fear of, like, I understand maybe the fear of snow if you live in, like, a place where, I don't know, or, like, fear of being trapped by a snowstorm
Go
or
Bills.
something. I just, otherwise, I love snow, man. And, like,
Yeah.
rain is rain. Like, you need rain.
Yeah. I mean, rain is, this is going to sound really stupid, but rain is what makes our fucking world work, dude. Like, the fear of snow one is interesting though. And, like obviously us being up from the Northeast, we grew up with that, but I can imagine, I went to college with a couple kids and I like watched them experience snow for the first
That's
time.
so
and
cool.
That was a wild thing to experience.
That's
They're
so
like,
cool.
It's crazy, man. And it's one of those things like we talked about last week, taking the seasons for granted. That's something I really appreciated about growing up in upstate New York, like having seasons and being able to experience snow. When I was young and you go out and there's like 4 feet of snow at the mailbox, it's like,
That'd be cool, man, to experience snow for the first time as an adult.
yeah. What is one thing you wish you could experience for the first time right
that's
now?
Such a fucking monster question. I don't know, man. Maybe eating pizza. I don't know.
Oh my gosh,
I don't know.
that'd be fire.
So I might have to think about.
Yeah, I wonder. I would probably love to hear music for the first time as an adult. Like, I wonder what kind of. I don't know.
You just like are born and then you hear music.
Yeah,
Or you might even hear it in the womb.
Right, it's ever present. But if all of a sudden right now my brain was saying I never heard music and I saw the guitar, I'd be like, would it scare me? I don't know. Who freaking knows,
Probably
dude?
not.
I wouldn't even know that that's used to make music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trypophobia. We talked about this already. The fear of holes or clusters of holes.
Hate it.
Yeah.
Absolutely hate it.
This next one is pretty wild. Ablutophobia. Fear of bathing. People might have heard about this one.
Yeah.
What happened here? You almost drowned in a tub?
I don't
when you were
know,
a kid?
man. Maybe. I watched an episode. I can't remember what show it was. It was like maybe 60 minutes, but it was about this girl who was allergic to water.
No.
This is a real condition that people have. Being allergic to water. All she ever drank was Diet Coke. Blessing in disguise.
I mean, your body's 75%, 80%.
Well, she's not allergic to it on the inside, but when it comes in contact with her skin, she would break out in this rash. It would burn. It was crazy. She had to keep her showers to like 15 seconds. It was nuts, dude.
Okay.
Absolutely crazy.
Bridging off of that, one of my buddies had I don't know if it was like his cousin or something, but she was allergic to the sun. Like, couldn't go out in it. Like, couldn't, like, had to, just be shaded from it constantly. Like, that's debilitating, man. That sucks. I feel for those people.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you were dealt a dog shit card.
Yeah, that is rough, man. We go 2 gray days here in Atlanta. I'm like reading the Don't Jump books. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Sun, you need it for your health.
Absolutely, man.
It's fucking crazy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but fear of bathing is pretty wild. Like, take a shower. It's stinky.
Yeah, it must stem from drowning. Like a fear of
Something,
drowning
man.
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Or maybe it stems from the fear of rain too.
Yeah.
Because, a shower is like little rain.
Yeah.
But what about the name of this one's kind of crazy? Pedophobia. Obviously, the opposite of pedophilia.
Right.
The fear of children. Children can be ruthless.
Yeah, I mean, like, I kind of get this one. It's bizarre, but if I'm watching like a horror movie trailer and there's a kid on a swing singing a lullaby, I'm with you.
Yeah, it's this when they go,
yo,
they turn their heads.
Yeah, I feel you, dog.
Dude, I hate that.
Fuck that.
This next one, I think probably everybody who's not this group has a fear of this group, and
This is a fact.
Ephibophobia, which is the fear of adolescence or youth. I think of middle schoolers when I hear this one. The most ruthless demographic.
I think of
in the
ruthless
history of
teenagers,
humankind.
yeah. And, teens in my hometown, I went home when I was home for a wedding or something. My buddies were telling me about this. There's like a gang of like these teens in my hometown, and they're like beating people up,
Like a gang?
like a gang of like teenagers, or and they're like there's a disabled dude in my town. He's well known in the community, really nice guy, and they like kind of cornered him or drew him into a park and like beat the hell out of him. You know
What?
Crazy, man. They're riding around on their bikes, like just
Like
causing
bicycles?
havoc in town. Yeah, like isn't that crazy?
No one has stopped these kids?
Dude, if that's my kid, they will never see the light of day again.
Oh my gosh.
Like, oh my god,
That's wild.
kid got
dude.
arrested. He was 15. Got arrested. Yeah,
Jesus, man. Beating up a disabled person is crazy.
dude, you're the
Fuck those kids,
like,
honestly.
what? I can't even understand it. But
Wow.
when I was that age, I was like,
Only place I was
Not
beating
doing
people
that.
up is 1v1 on Rust.
yeah,
It's
that's
crazy.
what I'm saying, man.
Crazy.
Fucking wild. But yeah,
Yeah.
I hear them. I hear y'all.
It's crazy.
All you Phobias.
Phobias.
How about decidophobias? Fear of making decisions. This has got to stem from a major fuck up in the past.
Yeah.
You made a terrible decision and some old lady croaked because of it.
Oh my gosh.
And you're like, all right, decisions, I don't make those anymore. Jesus, take the wheel.
Dude, I have a pro tip for anybody who's, I guess you don't have to be in a relationship to use this, but it's a tales all the time. Either one of the partners in the relationship is always notorious for never deciding where to go eat, whatever.
Yeah.
You say, where do you want to go eat? And they go, I don't know, you pick. And you have to immediately pick a place. Even if you don't want to go to it, you just have to make a decision, and then they'll go, actually, no, I don't want to go to that place.
Yeah, or give them two options. And
Yeah.
Then,
Be like, do you want to go to, I don't know, TGI Fridays or TGI Mondays? And they'll be like, I don't know. You go, all right, let's go to Mondays. I'm like, I don't know, though. And they're like, all right, cool. We're going to
All right, we'll
Fridays.
go to Fridays.
Decision made.
Decision made.
Decidophilia.
You're making decisions. Wow.
It's wild. Optophobia. Fear of opening one's eyes. That's me at night on the way to the piss train.
Man, I feel like keeping them closed all the time would be scarier. You're gonna sit there and let your imagination cook.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder what the context of this one is.
Fear of opening one's eyes.
There's got to be. Is it circumstantial? You know, it's like I'm only afraid to open my eyes in these certain situations or in the morning or whatever. But I don't know
what
how
have you seen, bro.
if you're a seeing able person. I don't know. This is definitely one of the more confusing ones on the list because, I mean, it kind of goes against a phobia and fear and everything. It's like being able to see helps keep you alive.
Dude, I don't get this one. at all.
That's wild.
I don't get
That's
this
wild. If
one.
anybody has this or knows more about this one,
get in
please
contact.
please comment and inform us because this is insane.
All right. Calliginophobia?
Calignophobia?
Well, gynecologist. Calliginophobia.
Oh, calignophobia.
Fear of beautiful women.
We're becoming the target audience for this
That's
phobia.
fucking crazy. Fear of beautiful women. Man, what? It's one of the best things in the game.
That's crazy.
I'm sure a lot of guys are intimidated by beautiful women. But to be afraid, like actually like scared.
Maybe that's kind of what I mean, intimidation is just kind of it's a form of fear. If you think about it, right?
guess.
I mean, I wonder if it's like I don't know, because I've experienced this in the past, and I've known people who have a paralyzing fear of
stunning women?
approaching a beautiful woman.
Okay.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. I wonder where that stems from. Like you feel inadequate. or-
Yeah, I think it probably stems from a fear of rejection.
Right. That's probably part of it
a
too.
fear
feel
of-
of not being worthy.
Yeah, if you were bullied ever for any reason, I don't know.
Yeah, but I think of it as like you can't even be around them. Like you're just scared of them. Like it's an irrational.
Yeah, maybe at its
That's
extreme.
weird to me.
Yeah,
which
that's
is
definitely very strange.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
this next one might be my favorite one.
This is my favorite one.
And anatidaphobia, a fear that a duck is always watching you.
I think we're good.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie to you right now. There's a duck right behind you.
No.
On top of it's on top of the tape machine right behind you. I'm serious. Look.
Oh God! Goddamn mallard.
That's my piggy bank mallard. Show it some respect.
What the fuck? I may have just unlocked a new phobia.
Oh God, that's crazy.
This one is just. Why is it a duck?
I don't know, man. That's
why-
so
why?
wild. And it kind of begs the question, is there you know, a fear of other pond dwelling animals? I don't know.
Just a duck. There's just a
It's
duck
so
lurking
specific. That is,
somewhere,
yeah, that's an insanely
watching you.
ins-
You're like making a sandwich in your kitchen, and you're afraid. You're like looking around.
and you're like,
Yeah. Somebody step on a duck. That's so weird, man.
that is bizarre.
That's so
I don't
weird.
really have much to say about that
No,
one. I
neither
mean,
do I.
that's,
Doesn't
I
matter.
would. maybe it's on my
I'd
butt.
buy you.
What? Oh, should we kiss?
I'd love to meet somebody with this one.
I was
and
just
hit
about to.
their
That's
mind.
exactly
you were
what I
gonna
was
say.
about to say.
Yeah,
I was
I'd
like,
be
one
listen,
of my bucket list items is to maybe befriend someone who has antidaphobia.
yeah, like who really has it,
Yeah.
and it like affects their life,
Yeah.
and like, tell me what's going on.
Tell me more about your duck fear.
It's just a therapist. It just cuts them in a therapist office. Like,
Yeah, they're suffering with this
Yeah.
phobia. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. Well, here comes the daddy of all daddy mommy phobias. And it's phobophobia, which is the fear of phobias.
so this one, you're afraid of getting one of these, like, and that affects you.
I guess. I mean, God forbid you get one of these, dude. That's
Right, right.
insane. I think that would just be a feedback loop of fear and anxiety, and you're probably getting a couple gray hairs with this one, man.
Yeah.
This is crazy. I forgot to mention this earlier, but did you know that you're born with two fears? And it is the fear of loud noises and the fear of falling. Those are like ingrained in you when you're born.
How that's a scientific fact?
I think so.
The fear of loud noises.
Fear of loud noises. Yeah. I'm going to actually look this up right now
The
because
fear of falling.
um, fears you are born with. Let's see. It's fear of falling and the fear of loud noises.
Interesting.
Penmedicine.org.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. I guess the heights one is making a little more sense, being
Yeah.
the most common.
That's true.
Loud noises are just irritating as fuck.
Yeah.
Do you think it could be so loud that like your brain would explode or something? Like your head would just blow up?
I mean, maybe if like if the decibels were high enough, and I think I'm pretty sure there's like a decibel cap before it starts distorting, but like they use sound as a weapon now, and I mean, if someone blasted 180 decibels of sound at you, you would go deaf immediately.
Yeah.
I think normal conversation like this is around 60, 70 decibels. And so if you can imagine, and I think like a gunshot right next to your ear is like 130. I could be wrong on these exact numbers, but I'm pretty sure I'm ballpark right. So imagine 180.
No thanks.
Yeah, I mean, it would rupture your eardrum.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
at an intense enough amplitude, I mean, certain sound waves will physically, I mean, you feel it when like bass.
yeah,
I
I
mean,
feel
it
like my
physically
heart's
affects
like
you.
bumping. with
Yeah.
it.
I don't know. I'd have to look into this. I mean, I'm sure they've done studies on the effects of insanely loud sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is a cool one, man.
Yeah.
I feel like we learned some stuff, man. It's fun, like doing a little like research for the pod. And we can talk about stuff, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Especially, I mean, it kind of, like I said at the beginning, it almost helps absolve some of your fears and phobias if you know what they are. Right. Putting a face to the name kind of disarms it.
Right.
A
Because you
little
can start
bit.
to rationalize the irrational nature of it.
Right. Exactly.
Cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, in that case,
Thanks for hanging out.
thanks for hanging out. I hope it was a good one.
It's been a good hang,
Go Bills.
as far as I'm concerned.
That's right.